Wands Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about somebody that has given some pretty solid advice. We have the Owl card, which is number 36, and it talks about wisdom, advancement, independent thinking, and enlightenment. And it may have just been an offhand comment like, well, why don't you just try to do this? Or you could call it that. This person's advice, whether this is about your situation or someone you care about, it has led to someone really being able to take advantage of an opportunity or build something important. Could impact their living situation or their finances, but I feel like it's paid off in a really great way, or it's about to. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box, as is more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. Hello, Zed. How you doing? I think we will start with... We're going to go with The Nightmare Before Christmas. What else do we have? Queen of Candles or the Queen of Wands. The Nine of Presents or the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. And the Four of Needles or Four of Swords in the reverse. So there was something here that was untended to or not being addressed by an individual who's come through as the Queen of Wands, someone who's magical or has this like great talent, but had maybe fallen on hard times, or it was difficult to have a sense of independence. And I feel like this wise advice is regarding this Four of Swords in the reverse. What is it that you still need to fix or address in order to move forward or to, get what you want? Hello. What else do we have? Knight of Needles or the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Potions or Knight of Cups. This advice is regarding an opportunity that is a pretty big opportunity. I don't feel like this is love related. I feel like this is either like helping you to figure out what you still need to address with regards to your healing or how you view yourself or how you interact with others. Or this is saying, oh, your goal is to do that? Well, I have some insights for you. Or maybe I could introduce you to some people. A person who wants to give you support in getting something to a better place or achieving a particular goal. I'm picking up for some of you, this is trying to own instead of rent. Six of Wands or Six of Candles in the reverse, and the Ace of Needles or Ace of Swords in the reverse. Maybe you were operating with the wrong impression, or maybe you didn't know that there was a program that you could leverage. Maybe you didn't feel like you had the qualifications, but with the Hierophant in the reverse, I feel like it's because you didn't really have the guidance that you needed, or you just needed this little piece of guidance to help you kind of like round it out. Hello, Angel. How are you doing? Oh, I'm sorry. We've got the Ace of Pentacles or Ace of Presents in the reverse and the Sun in the reverse. Okay, so this is something that you're not a pro in, okay? That's like, don't get upset about it. There's someone who wants to make sure that you have insight into this process or into this new chapter of your life. Like, oh, you just started doing this? Here's what I would recommend. This enables someone to be as successful in this effort as possible. Hold, please. What else? Hello, Juicy Chromosome. How are you doing? I do personal questions after the general reading. You are welcome to join in that. I do prioritize the questions with those that tip or donate. You can donate a membership, but I also like to do some freebies now and then. Just depends on the type of question and how much time I have, I suppose. So we have the 10 of Presents or 10 of Pentacles, the Empress, and the 7 of Presents or 7 of Pentacles in the reverse. It's like choosing the wrong partner, hiring the wrong employee, putting your website on the wrong host website. There's just like someone who's already done this, someone who's already walked that path and learned a few things, wants to impart that knowledge, help you see what you could avoid or how to do things better. Strength and the 3 of Presents or 3 of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah. This might be someone who initially is just kind of like an acquaintance or someone you don't know very well. Could even just be someone that you are standing in line next to at the grocery store. But there's this kind of like realization, oh, this person knows what they're talking about. I should take this seriously. And it really does help you to get the job that you want or start the business or take it to the next level. Maybe you want to open up a second location, you know. This person helps you to see what it is that you need to prioritize. Hello, Andrew. How are you doing? Hello, Tandy. 4 of Cups in the reverse. 10 of Swords in the reverse. 10 of Cups and the 9 of Wands. One thing that has served you well is your determination to keep moving, even if there are obstacles or things that seem pretty difficult. You don't give up as easily as a lot of people. And I feel there's something you really have protected as far as like a dream, maybe about where you want to live, what kind of place you want to live. You know, maybe it's influenced by you want to make sure that your family is safe. But I feel like this determination paired with this advice that you get enables you to make quite a change in your life. The Devil, the Fool, and the 5 of Swords in the reverse. Okay. Some of you have an obsessive like tendency to plan when you make a decision to start a new chapter, end a relationship, move somewhere else, because you really do want to make sure every last detail has been considered. Just make sure that you don't take it too far, right? But I see somebody walking away from a process or an approach, maybe even a place, and realizing that there's something they can do to improve upon overall living conditions and financial security, better compete in the market, or do so well in an interview that it seems kind of impossible that anyone else would get hired. Oh, I used to work at that company. I can tell you the general process or what kinds of behavioral questions you want to be prepared to answer, that kind of thing. Hello, Ruben. How are you doing? Hello, Ismail. Hello, Joanne. We've got the 3 of Cups in the reverse, 7 of Pentacles, and 6 of Wands. Yeah, the thing is we've got a lot of work or a lot of, maybe you've gotten an education in something but not really been able to find the right job. Maybe you haven't had the right kind of boss or, you know, a family that supports your dreams. So it's kind of like right at the moment that you need it, someone shows up to give a little bit of an assist to make sure that you get the Six of Wands, the success or victory that you're meant to have. Judgment, Seven of Wands, Five of Pentacles. The concern here is that some of you may feel like you shouldn't follow this advice. So there is a warning here. You can benefit from this person advice and actually like take the action that they're recommending, and you'll feel like it pays off handsomely. Or you can be a little bit defensive about it, because I do see that for some of you, you're kind of like, well, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to make the decisions my way, or that's not how I want to do it. And that leads to Five of Pentacles or financial strife, difficulty. Let's get a few from the Golden Lenormand. Hello, doctor. What's up? I see we're peak maturity, huh? I'm gonna put you in a little baby timeout. You want to come back a little bit and be respectful. You are welcome to come back. Otherwise, you could probably find, you know, a more appropriate place. That's good, Ruben. And thank you for the floating heart. We've got the Tower and the Mountain. In the Lenormand, the Tower is more associated with things like workplace or a hierarchy. So this is coming through to me as perhaps we have a little resistance to taking advice from someone because you feel like their association is different or nuanced, or you don't know how I'm trying to approach this. But this is someone who has experience, and they see that you're about to deal with some obstacle, or that maybe you need to meet some people. This person's trying to help, and there's a percentage of you that are going to be like, no, I'm going to do this on my own. And I admire your tenacity, but this is assistance that you're going to want to take. This is somebody that, it's not like they're saying, hey, you have to pay me $20 a month and I'll tell you like my secrets. This is someone who's taken an interest in seeing you be successful. The Stars, number 16, and number 12, the Owls. Yeah. Talking to this person helps you to achieve your dream. Listening to this person's advice or understanding their perspective enables you to avoid pitfalls or choose the right path going forward. What else do we have? Seven of Pentacles. King of Swords. And the Nine of Wands. The King of Swords is the individual who sees that you are a hard worker or a quick learner, feels like you are meant to be quite successful, or feels like there's something here that they need to let you know in order to help you to avoid something that might have caused them a delay or some problems back when they were approaching the industry or the career path that you are currently on. They're defensive over you or protective over you. Two of Cups. Page of Cups in the reverse. For some of you, this person who is wanting to be your mentor or at least gives you some helpful advice, you remind them of their high school best friend or an adult child of theirs or someone that they miss. There's like the desire here to help you. It goes beyond just acknowledging that you are skilled or talented or, you know, learn quickly. There's something here that kind of tugs on their heartstrings pertaining to a person from their past. Your voice might sound like that person's, or you might have the same name as that person, but there's something here that I don't think they would probably ever really tell you, but is a reason that they feel they need to help you, or they need to make sure that you have like a little leg up in the situation. So they're giving you strategy. They're like, hey, if no one taught you how to play chess, let's play. I'll tell you what I know. This person also knows that whatever you are pursuing or whatever you're trying to accomplish, it's not easy. There are risks involved, and they give you a little cheat sheet. You're more likely to avoid those. Six of Pentacles in the reverse. They're trying to warn you that there's a possibility that you would have a setback or some sort of financial hardship if you work for a certain company, or if you move to a certain place. They want to help you avoid whatever kind of predatory practices are out there, if that's literally, you know, hiring managers or landlords, whatever it might be. Magician and Eight of Cups. The individual who gives you this amazing advice is someone who has perfected the art of walking away, or what I would consider to be has very strong negotiating skills. I know what my worth is. I know what I want. If the offer is not satisfactory, then I'm okay with walking away. Another Six of Wands. There's something about you having a purpose associated with connecting with a lot of people, having some like level up moment. Death in the reverse, Four of Cups in the reverse. You might be a source of inspiration for others and therefore need to find a way to leverage that. You might be able to help people get through very difficult times, or encourage spiritual and personal growth. With the Hanged Man, I feel like you are a bit of a guide yourself. And this individual who gives you very sage advice, they see a little bit of themselves in you, perhaps. They see that you have the magic, you just maybe need to learn a little bit more about how to leverage it, right? All right, let's get a few from the Voyage of the Soul. Hello, Amanda. How are you doing? Hello, Lemonade. Hello, Turi. What's up? Hello, Beefalo. Turi, I do personal questions after the general reading, which usually starts at about 30 or 35 minutes in. We're at about 18:30. And I do prioritize those that tip or donate. You can donate memberships. And every once in a while I like to do freebies. Hello, Jesus. How are you doing? Hello, Gavin. We've got enlightenment and unknown. Emergence, insight, growth, illumination, and clear path. Unknown, unfamiliar territory, void, obscure, wait, risk, and trial. So there might be some hesitation, right? I want to do this. I feel like I've worked up to this point, but I'm a little bit nervous because, you know, maybe it's your first day at work. Maybe it's pursuing a different element or angle of the previous role that you had. But it does look like there's this like tentative energy trying to walk this path and make sure that they do it with purpose. And then there's this other person who's like, oh, you're new here. You want to know where all the bathrooms are? You want to know where the break room is? I'll give you a little tour. We have leadership. Someone who has walked these halls before or knows their way quite well is like, okay, let me show you the ropes. Let me show you what you can expect around here. Thank you, Jesus. I sure hope you do, Sanchita. We have collective, global, together, united, earth, consciousness, and star seeds, and chapters, light after darkness, rise, new life, dawn, and unfold. I mean, for some of you, this has been years of difficult energy, feeling like you had to work more diligently than others, or that things weren't really operating on easy mode. There's a shift happening, and you're going to notice that things are improving for you, in part because there's someone who wants to guide you, somebody who wants to help you address the things that have held you back previously. Seeking, soul searching, treasure, uncover, dormant gifts, and answers. So you understand things more clearly after interacting with this person. And it's not that you need to go back to that person every 5 minutes and say, hey, what do you think about this? Or what do you think about that? It's more so that this person gives you a baseline or like a formula, like if this, then that, right? So that you feel much more confident in dealing with those things. Hello, Lotus. How are you doing? Hello, James. Oh no, are you all right, Lotus? Staying warm seems like a good choice. I think we need the pause tarot, don't you? All right, what else do we have? Thank you for liking and subscribing, by the way. What else? Five of Pentacles. So this is for somebody who has been in the Five of Pentacles, has dealt with lack, worked, but not necessarily had the payday that they were hoping for. And then you encounter this hermit, or you yourself are the hermit and you get guidance from, you know, like a bigger hermit. Hello, I'm baby hermit. This is like, either they feel that you are just like what they used to be like, or you literally remind them of, you know, their 18-year-old son or daughter. There's this desire to see you be successful because you remind them of someone else. Knight of Swords in the reverse and the Devil. This person might straight up tell you to rip up a contract or stop working for someone or do something that seems totally different from how you were planning on handling things. All right. Yeah, we're not going to do that. You are welcome to come back to the channel tomorrow or sometime, but let's not start off the dialogue by telling me that I'm disrespecting someone. Hello, Mark. How are you doing? Do you mean like you're driving really fast? Or you are working too hard? I hope you get to have the weekend off to relax if that's true. We've got the Eight of Swords in the reverse, Five of Cups, Ten of Wands, the High Priestess. The High Priestess is the person who gives you this advice. They're like, hey, I see that, you know, this could potentially be a problem, or this is something that we could fix, and then you wouldn't have to worry about that. Wouldn't that be nice? Some of you will resist it. Some of you will be like, nope, I don't need your help. I'm doing just fine, thank you. Really? Because it looks like, no, I'm fine. If someone who really does know what they're talking about is offering to help, then, you know, if you feel good about their intentions, go for it. We've got the Four of Cups in the reverse and the Seven of Wands with the Sun. This is someone who knows what they're talking about, and they are protective of you. They want to make sure that there aren't problems for you or that things are smooth sailing. Why is it that they like you so much? Yeah, I really do feel like you remind them of someone, and they also feel like you just have what it takes to be successful. For some of you, it could be that you remind them of their like role model. So what I saw was Lucille Ball and Carol Burnett. Because if I recall, there was a pretty close bond between those two ladies. I think Carol Burnett talks about it in a few interviews. But this is like, I see something, obviously they're both redheads, so you could easily say that's what it is. But when you see that somebody is making their way in an industry that's difficult, and you know, I don't think it was very easy for women to be breakout comedy stars at that time. Maybe it still isn't, but like, you know, I think it's really great when there are people who say, like, I want to influence in a positive way the people who are trying to make it work in the industry where I have become successful. What can I do to like give back to those people who may be a little bit like missing the mark, or they don't know about this, or maybe they just need a little bit of extra star power for that project. This is someone who's like, I want to make sure that you benefit from the like industry knowledge or the experiences that I've had. Hello, Marjana. How are you doing? Oh, I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm just going to put you in a little baby timeout. Maybe I'll give you time to find a video that you like instead. But I hope you have a good day. Hello, Roxanne. How are you doing? Hey, Rachel. How are you? What do we want? I think we're going to go with the Love Oracle. No. I changed my mind. I want the Kipper. All right. So what else do we need to know about this? I feel like there's abundance around the corner. Maybe we'll see the unexpected income. Thank you, Roxanne. If it's your first time in the live chat or first time tipping, I start the personal questions at about 30 or 35 minutes in, and that's probably about 5 minutes away. And if you'd like me to answer a question, try to include that in your super chat. But if you want to include it now, I can write it down for you. Yeah, just a couple minutes left. What else? We have the Mature Man card and Concern. This is the individual who is the mentor or is providing the good advice. They're seeing somebody who's probably got a lot of potential. We also have apparently got the Official Person card. This is the expert, right? Somebody who has had some success and built a name for themselves, or has the life that they wanted because they figured out all of these things. And now they're like, hey, can I just like tell you what the formula is? Can I just tell you what I learned? We have the Lovers, Mature Woman, and House. Sometimes the Lovers is about a choice. Sometimes, I don't know, I feel like this could be saying you might also remind this person of someone that they loved a long time ago. Or they feel like you are the type of person that could be as successful as they have been. So I think that they're basically looking at it as, I'm taking you under my wing. I believe that you are supposed to be doing this. Like this is, you know, your calling or your purpose. And if I can make sure that you are successful by sharing some of the things that I've been through or things that I've learned, then okay. We have Community, Pathway, and Despair. So I'm getting kind of a strange reference to almost like a pivot. I think of Rihanna and how she was just like gigantic in the music industry, right? She hasn't put out new music in almost 2 decades. People still talk about her. She pivoted away from the music industry and started makeup industry. I don't know if she goes beyond that. Maybe there's like jewelry or something, but I know for sure she does the makeup thing. And like, she good. She don't need to go back to the music industry for anything, which was probably extra toxic, right? I feel like it's similar to that. This is somebody who's like, hey, you've made yourself pretty successful or proven yourself here, but what if we try this? What if we alter it this way? To make sure that you avoid some of the pitfalls or problems that many other people encounter. Could also be, you know, someone who's really successful in music but doesn't like to go touring, you know? That messes up my mental health. I don't like leaving my place. Maybe I'll just do like a residency. I don't know. But we have this advice that helps someone avoid feeling like they've been working too hard or that this dream isn't really what they want after all. We have the courtship card. Really? This person may also introduce you. I don't think this person's interested in you romantically. I think they know someone that would be good for you. Because when I look at these two cards, it makes me think of, oh gosh, what was that movie with Gwyneth Paltrow? It's the Jane Austen movie, right? Where she's the matchmaker? Is it Emma? This feels to me like someone who has taken you under their wing and helped you be successful or be, you know, like your reputation has improved. They're like, okay, now I'm going to do you solid and I'm going to find you somebody that you would be interested in. This could be somebody who helps you with regards to your like professional or living situation as well as your social or romantic situation. Did we ever hear back from Roxanne? Hello, Peter. How are you doing? Is marriage with my Virgo. I got you, Roxanne. Thank you. All right. Or typo negative? It's true. It's true. All right. I'll grab a few more cards and then we're going to start with the personal question section. This is the Witch's Tarot. Hello, Kenneth. How are you doing? The Prince of Swords. Sounds pretty heavy metal. Queen of Cups and the Four of Pentacles. I think this person starts off by influencing your success or your financial stability. And then for some of you, perhaps that grows into a romantic bond between the two of you. But I think for the majority of you, this is more so like, now that I've helped you with that, I'm going to introduce you to some of my friends, or I'm going to introduce you to this person I think you might like. But I feel like their social circle also becomes something that impacts positively what happens in your life. So you meet somebody that you fall in love with. Seven of Cups in the reverse. The Prince of Wands. So when this person gives you advice, if this hasn't happened yet, for the love of everything, please do what they tell you to. I know. I always tell you just to like do what you need to do and listen to your intuition. And quite frankly, I think your intuition would tell you to take this person's advice. But there is a risk that some of you are going to be like, no, I want to do it my way. Screw you. I don't sound like that, Carmen. Okay, well, you do in my head. We have Justice and the Tower and the Ace of Swords. This person is telling you the truth. This truth enables you to move to the next chapter or like level up and leave behind this Five of Pentacles or this like energy of lack where you don't have enough. So you listen to this person's advice, you make this change, you feel more confident, you feel like you have a more stable situation, whether that's professionally or living, and then you meet somebody or you fall in love with this person. One or t'other. Three of Wands and the Eight of Swords. Why do I like that so much? This is such a weird Eight of Swords. Look at that. Okay. Three of Wands, Eight of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, this is just like you could miss out on so much if you don't connect with this person who wants to help you. If you just kind of insult them by not taking seriously their desire to see you be successful, then you might also miss out on not just like the professional stuff, but the social element that this could have helped you move past. So be open to an expert or someone who seems to genuinely want to see you be successful, giving you advice. All right, let's start with the personal questions. We've got Roxanne. Will there be a marriage with my Virgo? Or tell me what Roxanne needs to know regarding marriage with the Virgo. Three of Cups in the reverse, Two of Cups in the reverse, the Fool in the reverse, and the Tower. Well, this is a little unsettling. It does feel like we have someone who did something kind of silly. Someone foolish. Well, yeah, someone foolish, I guess. Or they did something foolish, maybe is a better way of saying it. And I think it reverts to indecisive energy for them when they're in this kind of situation with someone. I don't know if I'm going to make it worse, so I'm just going to like do nothing. And it comes through as rejection. This person's in need of a reality check. Eight of Wands in the reverse, Nine of Wands. Overly defensive and aggressive. I don't know. I would say that marriage with this particular individual would be chaotic or toxic, and that there's got to be a different approach. Apurva, please put your questions in the super chat. I'm patient with people who have tipped for the first time, but I know I've asked, like, can you please put it in the super chat? Please. All right. So basically, I would be cautious, Roxanne. Is there somebody else that's going to be interested? We have the World. I feel like there's someone at a distance from you who looks at you as the one who got away. And this is someone who tried to maintain control, even though they were feeling pretty emotional about the situation with you. And at this point, they're feeling like they need to do something to be fair and to make things right between the two of you. So this is not the Virgo, but this is someone, they could have Sagittarius in their chart. This is somebody who wants to make things right with you. So you might have someone you did not expect to hear from reaching out and letting you know that they're still very interested. Hello, Aishwarya. How you doing? I hope you're having a great day. Hello, Dwight. How are you? All right, let's see. Good luck with that, Roxanne. I would say generally guided, although sometimes it's about, if I'm already doing a reading that is talking about a love situation, I'd be more likely to use something like the, Romance Angel Oracle because it's a love theme, right? But I'm not going to seek that out, or it's probably not going to be something that I feel guided to if I'm doing something that is more about like finances or a job. Yeah, there's a little bit of magnetism, right? Is that your question? I'll do it for you. I feel really emotional right now. Oh no. Well, I'm glad it's a good place though. It's okay. You can process that, right? It's better to feel those emotions than to try to pretend they're not there. All right. Apurva would like to know, is tarot reading reliable? Yeah, I mean, Ace of Discs. So that'd be the Ace of Pentacles. And we do have the Five of Swords. This is saying basically you have to know when to leverage it. How do I explain this? It's like medicine that shouldn't be taken in too high a dose, right? Some people lose sight of what reality is if they get too entrenched in tarot. Some people see the answers that they want to see. Some people refuse to hear the truth even when it's spoken to them, right? But with this Ace of Pentacles, it's like you have this opportunity to see things from a different perspective when you're stuck. Five of Swords, when you can't see what's really going on, because this highlights it for you. But it's all about intention. Oh, thank you, Peter. Apurva, this is why I want you to put it in the super chat. Oh, my. So we have the Seven of Swords. I would also say that some people are, out there doing things to make money, not necessarily operating with that good intention that I mentioned earlier. So there are people who will believe the lies that support what they want to be true, and it creates more of that illusion for them, right? Okay, can you please put them in the super chat going forward? Will animal text Apurva? This is a no. Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. What I'm seeing is like a crumbling foundation. Someone who feels like if I were to text, maybe initially it would be happy. Maybe initially we would, make each other smile, but then we would inevitably get to a point where we have to talk about what do we do with the fact that we've reconnected, and can you actually like be with someone, or can you travel to see someone? I feel like there's a defeatist energy here. If I text, what am I going to say? And if I say that and, it goes well, then what do we do when it goes well? I can't like be with you. So indolence. This is someone who feels like returning or texting could only just like cause more disappointment. Hello, Steven. How are you doing? All right. I think we had a question from Hope, right? Or am I making that up in my mind? I might be. Did I say hello to Erin? Hello, Erin. Okay, I might be making it up. Was it Aishwarya? Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I'm sorry if I remembered it wrong. Okay. Aishwarya is asking, I feel like something isn't right. I have a bad hunch with regards to the current situation. Is Aishwarya's hunch correct? Your hunch is correct. I see you having a beverage and thinking about this. Zoning out, maybe someone's trying to talk to you. Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, Six of Swords in the reverse, and the Devil. I think you've noticed a pattern. I think you've noticed someone's true character, or I think it's only a matter of time for something to be a problem. Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, Four of Pentacles. Someone's keeping a secret. I think you're picking up on tension from someone who has had a change in behavior. See, I feel like this change in behavior is making something worse. And if you're concerned about someone's health, that could be problematic. I do feel like there's something that has been missed here, you know, by like scans or reports or someone not wanting to talk about what's really going on. Six of Pentacles in the reverse. So is it best to communicate, like to start a conversation about this? No. If you bring this up with this person, they're not going to talk to you about it. The Sun. There is going to be something that brings this secret or brings this out. And I feel like the advice here is, yes, you're right about something. Yes, something is getting progressively worse. Someone is being ignorant to it or doesn't want to take it seriously. And if there's something you can do to prepare for this eventually being, you know, talked about, then do those things. But trying to talk to this person, it kind of seems like talking to a brick wall. I do feel like there's a younger energy around this person who could talk some sense into them, but it's a bit of a long shot. It's like you have to catch this person at the right time, use, you know, precisely 8 words or whatever it is. You know, I don't feel like this person wants to hear a lot about it. But if there's a child that this individual is, you know, like, oh, that's my heart, they have an opportunity to potentially get this person to see things differently. Yeah. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I love you all. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. And if you're able to hype, I appreciate that as well. And I will see you on the next reading. Toodles.